Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. It's a vibe every Thursday hapa. It's Entertainment Thursday, and of course I'm Mike Itai. If you're just tuning in, the repeat iko hapo on YouTube, that's KBC Channel 1 TV shows, and of course on all social media platforms it's KBC Channel 1 TV. Previously tulikuwa tunacheza wimbo ya Sasha Kenya featuring Rose Mohando, Asante, and of course that was another new one by Sasha Kenya. She's here in studio with us. Karibu.
Asante.
Banger after banger, we call them bangers.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much for the good music.
You're welcome.
Let's talk a bit about Sasha and, you coming up. First and foremost, it's my understanding you grew up in Kibera.
I did, yes.
Let's talk about coming up.
Yeah.
From Kibera all the way to America and now back to Nairobi.
Yeah.
And, it's quite a journey.
It is. It's quite a journey, and, all glory goes to God. He's the one who plans our lives and everything that we're coming to do, but also we have to play a role in it, whereby you have to pray, listen to his voice, and take those steps. It takes courage. It takes you listening to that still small voice for you to be able to actually get up and take that step. Yeah. So yes, I was born in Kibera. I grew up in Kibera. I went to Langata Road Primary School, Ikwapo Wilson Airport area. Yeah, then I went to Chamakanga Girls in Kakamega Western for high school. Then I went to Kenya School of Professional Studies, where I did a higher diploma in information technology, and I was thinking of furthering to getting a degree, but then I had applied to the US and I was accepted for both school and work.
And that's something quite magical that happened, because when you applied, because you wanted to continue in Kenya, but something told you to apply in America for both work and study.
Right.
And it just happened that
I was accepted for both, yes.
Wow, how did that feel?
It felt amazing. And
did you ever picture yourself, even boarding a flight to America, growing up in Kibera?
I had not. I had not. It was something that's why I just attribute it all to God. Because if someone was to pick people who would get this, I don't think I would be on that list. But I was on God's list. Yeah.
Wow. And so many things happened, even during that transition when you were in America.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable talking about it? Because it's part of your testimony.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like my marriage and all that?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I went to America. I stayed a couple of years, and then I was dating someone back here who we went to Sunday school together, and we felt like it was time for us to, come together as a union and get married, and then progress, start a family, and maybe get kids and invest and all that. So I came back and we got married, and I filed for his green card, and he came and joined me in the US. But as soon as he got there, I just realized something was off, and it just didn't work out. He was ready to move on, so he did move on. But
what's interesting with that story is, I've heard you say this testimony a few times before.
Yeah.
Within that 2-year period, because it was supposed to take 6 months, but then there was a 2-year period when you were trying to get his papers.
Yes, it took
But it
way
was like
too long.
There was always a roadblock.
Yeah, it's like God was telling me to let go. God was telling me something, but I was so adamant. I wanted this, and I remember so many nights I used to go and bow down and pray and actually kneel down to God and say, God, please help me, because I felt like this was the right thing to do. I felt like it was right for him to join me so we can at least progress with life, because it felt like it was stagnant. It felt like my life wasn't moving. But all this while, God was showing me signs, but I wasn't paying attention to it. So that has taught me a really big lesson. Like nowadays, I don't force anything. I say, may the will of God be done. That is what I should have done that day, but I didn't do it. I just wanted my will to be done. I wanted what I wanted, and God being my Father, who loves me so much, He gave me. And it wasn't, I wasn't praying for the right thing.
But that's an interesting thing to look at, even from a faith-based perspective, no matter your religion. Like, you might want something and you feel like this is what I'm supposed to be praying for because it's something I want.
Yeah.
But as someone who's been through such a phase where you have to recognize that a greater voice than your own,
right,
what advice would you give people who are watching you right now?
Well, if you're praying about something, if you want to achieve a goal, if you want to get somewhere, if you're praying for a job, put God first and ask God, what should I do? Always just turn to God and pray and ask God to guide you, and just ask that his will be done, because God's will is for us all to be happy, to be healthy, to be wealthy, to be happy and to be okay. That is his will for us. So I feel like sometimes we forget that God is there to take care of us, and we want to do our own and exercise our power and strength, and God lets us do it, and most of the times that's when we fail. I've learned that when I leave everything in God's hands and I tell him to take charge, he's taken charge, and I've seen him, like the Bible says, I've seen him face to face, and my life is changed. Yeah.
And now let's talk about the music.
Right.
The inspiration to join the music industry ilikam kuanzia wapi, na ni nini ilikuinspire ukasema, let me put my voice, let me say my testimony through music?
Right. I've had a desire deep inside me to do something for God, but way before, my life has been very busy. I've been doing this, helping, supporting my family, doing 1, 2, 3 things, and I felt like I wasn't ready to just come up and do this. But this time, I just felt that calling, God telling me to go out there and just preach his word through my music and tell the world what he has done for me and what he is capable of doing for anybody else out there. God is our Father, he is our mother. We can all turn to God at any time. So that's the inspiration I got to just come out here, because God has done so much in my life. God has healed me. He's protected me from so much. Things that I know and those that I don't know of. So this is my way of gratitude to him. Yeah.
And now I have to ask you about this collab with Rose.
Yeah.
How did it feel? Because she's, one of the bigwigs in East African music.
Yeah.
How did it feel to be, sharing the same platform, the same music video, the same song?
It feels amazing, and it is God's grace. I never imagined that I will be able to do a collab with Rose, but I think through God's grace. I remember there's a time just recently I was with a friend and he was asking me, so tell me, what other artists would you like to do collab with? And at the top of the list, it was Rose Muhando. So in a couple of weeks down the line, I met Rose Muhando and we were able to do that. So it's just that heart desire that you put out there, and God make sure that you get it.
It's just an amazing song. I love the vibe of the song, and I love the message, most importantly, of the song, Asante. Can we talk about the lyrics of the song, the inspiration behind Asante?
Asante is, just saying thank you to God for his goodness, for his mercy. Like, he's given us free air, we can breathe, we don't pay for it. We have so much to be grateful for. We have family, we have good health, we have good food, we have water, clean water to drink. There's so much for us to be grateful for. But most importantly, this was inspired by a healing that I got. And I'm so grateful to God for this healing that I just want to sing his praise and praise him and sing his glory. Yeah.
But there's so much, not just music. You're an author.
Yeah.
There's a book coming up.
There's a book coming up. Yeah,
let's talk about
it in a while.
Before we go to because you're an entrepreneur as well.
I am.
Let's talk about the book first.
Yeah.
What is the book about?
It's about my life, my story. It's about who I am and who I've become and my journey. Yes.
When can we get the book?
Right now, I'm not so sure. I'm still working on it, but it's coming. It takes a lot. And I have a lot of other things to do.
I can imagine, and
Yeah.
I love how open you are with your story and your testimony. And I know someone who is going to read it and feel touched.
Yeah.
You know, maybe even change for the better.
Yeah, that's the intent.
There's a quote I love. You know, you don't have enough time to learn everything, so learn from the mistakes of others.
Right, we do actually, yes.
So thank you for the book and, you know, also giving us your story. That aside, you're also an entrepreneur. This is Jipende Cream.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. You know, you're all the way from Kibera to America, then all of a sudden you're like, let me start this.
Yeah.
The courage kuanzisha hiyo biashara ulitoa wapi?
I don't know, it's God. Let me just say it's God. Because sababu, I have a baby. I'm a mama. So I have a little girl, and I need something, a good cream for her skin, to take care of her. And I'm going out there shopping, and I don't want chemicals. I don't want, you know, things that I'm not sure of to use on my baby. So I'm like, what am I going to use for my baby? And this idea comes in, and I remember my grandmother using shea butter on us when we were young. So I Googled and I found some shea butter. So I ordered some shea butter, and I started using this shea butter on my baby. And then I needed something more to add to it, so because shea butter is a little hard, so I needed to add something to it to make it even more softer and better. Then I got an idea of having a coconut oil. So I brought the coconut oil, mixed it with shea butter. It was a little better, but it still wasn't there. So I got the idea of getting the lanolin. Lanolin is really good for the skin and diaper rash. So I added that to the ingredients. So I started making this, and then I added some. Now it was during the summer and it was very hot, and I was taking baby to the beach, and the cream melted. So the cream melted. It was supposed to be solid, but because the temperatures are too high, it melted. So I had to find something to make it, to toughen it a little bit, to make it more solid. That's when I introduced the beeswax to it, which it makes it a little more solid. And even if the weather is the temperatures are too high, it will remain in its consistency. So, and then I put in some fragrance to make baby smell good. So that's how I came up with the cream. And I feel like it's a really good cream that all kids in the world should have it.
Let me tell you, by the way, we have to talk because I have toddlers at home and they need that cream ASAP.
Absolutely.
But before we continue, there's another song that we want to play by Sasha Kenya.
Oh.
Nitende muujiza Bwana. Jesus. Maadui wanyamaze Bwana. Dance like a dog. Do what you do, Lord. Hallelujah. I need Lord. One miracle. I need Lord. I need Lord. One miracle. One miracle. One miracle. To silence my enemies. I need Lord. I need Lord. One miracle. Just one miracle, dear Lord. I need Lord. That's all I'm asking from you, dear Lord. One miracle. Oh, thank you, Jesus. One miracle. Hallelujah. To silence my enemies. Mimi nataka Yesu. Muujiza moja. Nisaidie Yesu. Nataka nitoe kwa aibu Bwana. Muujiza moja. Nitoe mbele ya maadui Bwana. Muujiza moja. Nitoe kwa vinywa za watu. Unyamazishe maadui. I need a touchable miracle.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful song. The tone is worship. I can feel an essence of worship with your songs. What's next for Sasha in terms of music
In
now?
terms of music, yeah, I have a few singles coming. I have like 2 singles coming. I have praise and worship. Yeah.
Now, when are they coming?
I'm still working on it. Ziko Jikoni.
Any more great collabos, by the way?
Still praying about it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming through to Good Morning Kenya. We appreciate you. We wish you nothing but the best. And thank you so much for opening up and telling us your story and your testimony.
Yeah, because I share my story so that people will know that God is there and God can take you from grace to grace. Can heal you. He can provide for you. He can give you your heart's desire. Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful message. Sasha Kenya on all social media platforms. Watch out for the book, new music coming in. And of course, make sure you Google Jipende Cream.
Jipende Cream, yes.
And I need a sample.
Sure, you get it.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Good Morning Kenya. This was Entertainment Thursday. Until next week, I'm Mike Gitai. Cheers.